Yo, what's going on, everybody? This is Dylan Talk Sports. My name is Dylan. If you have not seen the basketball news in the past few weeks, USA didn't even win a single fucking medal in the FIBA World Cup. They lost to, I believe, Canada in the bronze medal round. They didn't win not gold, not silver, not even bronze. They went home with nothing. And over the past few years, we've been saying, it's because we are not sending the best USA players overseas to play in these tournaments. Don't get me wrong, we're sending good players. The players that are going are pretty damn good. It's just that we're not sending the best of the best. And it seems like the second USA was eliminated, we have one of the better players in the NBA, whether you hate him or you love him. LeBron James spoke out, and he is now apparently trying to recruit some of the actual top tier dogs in the NBA to possibly go to the 2024 France Olympics. So we're going to get completely into this. I'm going to break it down, discuss it, talk about it. So if you're going to enjoy it, as always, make sure you drop a like. And without further ado, let's get into it. Now to start off, let's go ahead and cover what happened exactly in this 2023 season. Let's go over the roster, shall we? Let's go over all the players that we had on this roster. We had Paolo Banchero, Mikal Bridges, Jalen Brunson, Anthony Edwards, Tyrese Halliburton, Josh Hart, Brandon Ingram, Jaren Jackson Jr., Cam Johnson, Walker Kessler, Bobby Portis, and Austin Reeves. Now I want you to do me a favor. Out of all those players I just listed, how many of those would you look at and say they have the potential to be top 15 player in the league this next upcoming season? I'm going to be honest, when I read through this whole list, the guys that come off the top of my head, it's too early for Paolo. Jalen Brunson has the potential. Anthony Edwards, I could probably see it. Brandon Ingram, maybe. He's got the potential. Jaren Jackson Jr. is a great defender, but when it comes to his score, I don't really know. And then Austin Reeves, he might just be a one-hit wonder. Everyone else on that team, you don't really look at and say, like, that guy's a dog, and that guy is, like, gonna be, it just makes it overpowered. And the thing that kind of affected USA a lot this year, when we looked around to some of the other teams like Germany, Canada, Slovenia, I think some of the other countries, a lot of the players that were on those teams were players from the from here in the NBA, that they're obviously not from the United States, they're from other countries, and they're going to play for their hometown country. And the players that were over there on those countries were a lot better than the players we had in our country. Now, if you were going to come up with two rosters from the United States Olympics that you could pretty much say these two teams were elite, I have two off the top of my head. You have the 1992 Dream Team, which everybody knows that team. Everybody knows that team in their prime would dominate every single team known to man. It doesn't matter who you are, when and where, they will dominate. And then the other team that pretty much just like obliterated everybody in the 2012 Olympics, that 2012 team, that team was scary. I mean, just looking at the roster, you had Tyson Chandler, Kevin Durant, LeBron James, Russell Westbrook, Darren Williams, Andre Iguodala, Kobe Bryant, Kevin Love, James Harden, Chris Paul, Anthony Davis, Carmelo Anthony, and these guys were all in their primes when this was going on. The only guy that was like really not in their prime, Kobe was kind of exiting, and Anthony Davis was still kind of like a rookie. And then the icing on the cake was we had Coach K from Duke as the head coach. I mean, just looking at some of these expedition games, the games that didn't matter, but the United States was just kicking ass. Against Dominican Republic, 113-59. Against Great Britain, 118-78. The only game that got sort of close was Argentina, which we won 86-80. And that was mainly because the team of Argentina had Manu Ginobili on their team. So that kind of helped them a little bit. So now, obviously, we know we're not going to be getting any of those old teams back. What can we get going forward? What we can hope for, and that's what we're going to be discussing with this tweet that was put out by pretty much every single basketball Twitter account alive. This roster got brought up. And if this was the roster going forward for USA, at least for next year, they should smoke everybody next year. It consists of Steph Curry, okay, Devin Booker, LeBron James, Kevin Durant, Anthony Davis, Damian Lillard, Anthony Edwards, bring him along, because like I said, that dude can ball, Jimmy Butler, Jason Tatum, Bam Adebayo, Aaron Gordon, and Paul George. If I was going to tweak that roster a little bit, I don't think I'd bring Aaron Gordon. I'd probably bring along Klay Thompson if I was going to be different. Or if you don't want Klay Thompson, you could probably go to maybe the Jaylen Brown route. So going over this roster, I would pretty much ask you guys, can this roster just go out there and obliterate everybody? Like I said, they have the scoring, they have the defense, they have the mentality, they have the shooting with Curry, defense, lockdown defense with a couple of the guys. And then my question to all of you is, this is the standard of what we need to have out of the guys coming to play for Team USA. It seems like players do not want to play for the country because they're so focused on their being divas. They don't want to focus on other things outside of just playing the game, making their money, and going home. And after watching what we just saw here in the FIBA World Cup, we need these guys to stand up and support the country a little bit. Now, will they do it? I don't know. If they do it, like I said, I'll say it again. I'll say it 100 times. Team USA should just steamroll every other country next year in Paris. But other than that, that's all I got to discuss for today's video. As always, if you wanted to enjoy, make sure you do drop a like. If you had a completely different opinion on anything I said here in today's video, maybe anything that's going on within what the roster could be, if you have maybe different players you want for the roster, if you like the roster this year, you got a problem. But if you did like the roster, let me know why and what you think the roster could be going forward for Team USA. And obviously, these players are going to get older, so eventually they can't always play in Team USA. What kind of players that are kind of like growing, like maybe the Devin Bookers and the Jason Tatums, do you want to see trying to go play for Team USA in the Olympics every time it happens? If you're a fan of the channel and you want to go ahead and help support the channel, you want to hit that big red subscribe button. It's always appreciated if you do so, and make sure you hit that little notification bell so you're notified the second I post. But without further ado, this has been Dylan Talk Sports. Have a great rest of your day. Peace.